Climate change, Army style, or actually Air Force style, Navy style, Marine style, Coast Guard style. These days, when you have a drought, you have a drought. And the land can scorch, the temperature can go above 100, everything dries out. When everything dries out, all it does is take a lightning strike to start a forest fire, or, well, smoking has been banned in most military bases. I mean, they banned smoking, they banned matches, they banned open fires. They don't have firing ranges anymore. If they do anything, they wet everything down first, but the risk of fire is very real. A lot of buildings happen to have extra layer of sand on top of them. Well, not large, a thin layer of sand in case there's fire somewhere and you have embers falling. Many military bases have pumping stations located around buildings. An extra pumping station. An extra spray the water bit. Laying down a shower of water on something. And of course, then you got the other thing. When it rains, it pours. I mean, not inches, but feet. Depending on where the Gulf Stream is bringing up the moisture. Or from California. In the wintertime, you got deeper snow drifts. You got colder weather. Not that cold, but since climate change. But you got deeper snow drifts. Again, moisture from the Gulf, from all that warm water down there, it adds to feet of snow. What used to be 6 inches can turn into 2 feet overnight. Which means a whole different thing. That also means you happen to have snow rakes, pulling snow off of roofs. You need more salt. You need to do is insulate more pipes, or at least out of the wind chill factor. And then you have the thunderstorms. The thunderstorms is more lightning. That affects everything. Now they're able to do this thing. It's basically antenna that's standing up. They can fold it down for lightning strikes. Lack of communications. It is a real problem. It is a real problem with the ocean rising. The U.S. Navy found between 1900 and 2000, the oceans rose 1 foot. By the end of this century, that may be another 2 to 3 feet, which means a lot of coastal military installations will be moving or becoming on houseboats, I might say. A lot of planes will become seaplanes. Another thing about seaplanes. That is a problem. The Navy is changing how their docks are there. They're literally putting in floating docks. Floating docks that can handle trucks, but floating docks. Things are changing. And they're looking at other countries and how they handle water. Areas in the south, they know will be underwater. They're going to be sludging. Right now it's on dry land. In time it's going to be just sludging through water. The whole thing's changing, which will interfere with food. Cropland. It will be underwater or it will be desert. There's one way or the other. Parts of California a couple years ago were under drought. The same conditions after the river of rain went across California. It's what was dry once are now under 6 feet of water. And that's not going away anytime soon. That's right. Everything's changing. how you generate electricity. On bases, it's becoming solar, storage batteries, LED lights running through hallways now, windmills, yes, not the really tall, gigantic windmills up there, but the lower windmills enclosed in a fence, but they spin around, barely missing the ground, you would say. But they spin around, and you need to replace the blades or anything. They're there, Their blades are 8 feet off the ground. The top is 8 feet, but they're not 50 feet up. Same thing with solar. Buildings are now being built with solar panels on top. One reason is they're going into batteries during the summer daytime. That thing at night, it's like the little Bell and Howell lights you've got sitting on that thing. There's no longer a lot of these lights are things. The Bell and Howell lights charge all day long and are on all night. Right. And if you need to supplement them, you throw a switch and you get supplement of light. Everything's changing. One of the reasons, the cost of fuel, the transportation of fuel. The military bases are going green as much as they can, not to add to the atmosphere anything they don't have to do. It's not unusual that military bases will have electric vehicles, for transporting around the base, electric vehicles, not for heavy-duty equipment, which you still need diesel, but for like little mini buses or your motorcycles, your little staff cars, and things that can be electric. Jeeps that can be electric, golf carts. Well, it's a cost-cutting thing. They have to do it. They don't know what Congress will do, but they need to have vehicles, one that's on the go that doesn't pollute. Then, of course, you need the personnel to service these. Climate change is really screwing everything up. Well, unless you're a good guy out of Republican and says, "Oh no, that's impossible," or if it's that you believe it, "Oh, that's God's way of doing things." Right. But it's happening, whether you like it or not. Oceans are going up. When it rains, it pours. When it gets cold and snow, it doesn't snow 6 inches, it can snow 6 feet. Well, not, 2 feet. And that all. And they're learning something else. Some of the buildings they're making, they're putting a couple stories below ground. Or actually this thing, they build a building and they pile dirt around it. One, it's an insulation. And two, if they have heavy winds, it's a smaller footprint. They don't lose. They may lose a top, but a lot of the buildings are making for 150 mile an hour winds, 180 mile an hour, or 200 mile an hour winds. That's how they are. The skylights blow off. Well, things are changing, and it doesn't make any difference what you believe in. And we are living in a new world.